potentially the best waifu in all of Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross. I mean, come on, there are some really good characters out there, of course. We all love Jericho and we all love Melaskil, all those kind of characters, but there's a special place in my heart for Derry. I mean, look at her, right? She's got it all going for her, and especially some of these other costumes, even her default character, what she looks like in the actual manga, it's something. But enough simping for DERIERI. Today we're going to be using her on the Esterosa team, of course with the Assault Melee, since it is the better variation of the team. If you guys don't know what the DERIERI does, her first card here inflicts damage equal to 450% of attack on one enemy and depletes 3 ultimate move gauge orbs. The second card, which is an AoE, so going to help out the Esterosa team a ton, inflicts damage equal to 300% of attack on all enemies and fills 2 ultimate move gauge orbs. Her ultimate inflicts amplified damage equal to 945% of attack on one enemy. Her command, which we're not going to be using in today's video, but decreases the damage of ranged skills by 35% in PvP. And then last but not least, the passive. No enemies can fill ultimate move gauge by moving skills. Now, this is definitely a good passive, definitely one of the better parts of her kit, especially when it comes to PvP. I don't know, it definitely has one of the coolest icons when it comes to demon characters, but the All Rush team has been being used less and less since the Archangels have come out and since Esterosa have come out, but especially prior to this team's release, there is definitely still a crazy amount of All Rush teams out there, and especially in top 100, it can be some of the best teams to use, or the best team to use in the game. Having a look at the Derry, she has got my guild boss set on. I really only use Derry for that kind of content, but we're going to see how it goes inside of PvP, and then having a look at her cosmetics, it's nothing too crazy. I might actually see, I do believe I have an extra bracer. Do I have a defense one? Yeah, that's a bit risky. I think we're gonna stick with the attack crit for this one, but this is the team we're gonna use today, and let's dive in. And you know what, entirely for the showcase and the video, I went ahead and decided to do the HP defense set. Why not? I need it for box CC anyway, so let's dive into the first match. And let's see it. First opponent, what have we got? Quite an old archetype of team, but I do definitely like it. Running the green Gotha, definitely a lot better than seeing that red Gotha. Oh my god, I mean, I do still feel like the green Gotha may be better, especially in most, or pretty much all PvE events, but when it comes to PvP, man, Attack Disable is so insanely strong, and there's just so little teams that have access to cleanse. I will say though, the Glocks is definitely more viable now that the Esterosa is here. I would even go as far as saying before Esterosa came out that the Blue King was more viable than Glocks. I don't know, man, his ultimate, the fossilization, all that kind of stuff, he is still a decent character and very easy to get dupes for, exactly like the red Gotha is easy to get dupes for. Not only is it a decent ultimate, it's not going to kill anyone by any means, but the CC definitely helps out for those kind of things, and with how exclusive Halloween Gotha is, it can be real hard to get dupes for a character like that. But let's see, is this another AoE? Oh yeah, we can pretty much kill everyone here. I mean, that's what it looks like. You get AoE cards with this team and you just win, and that's why Demon Hendrickson is probably the best, if not one of the best supports for this team. And if he gets a Holy Relic in this next update, or in one of the up and coming updates, I couldn't imagine it'll be too soon, considering we have the ReZero collab just around the corner, or the collab rerun. I'm actually super excited to see that one happen. No, by no means have I watched ReZero, but I mean, having a look at the characters, I've looked at their characters and whatnot, and we are getting Reinhardt, and I believe it's Echidna. I'm probably pronouncing both of those wrong. They look pretty cool. Definitely more keen for the Echidna once again. Probably pronouncing that wrong, but hey, we'll have to see how things look in game. I'm really hoping, for more than anything, just good and fun characters to actually play as. That's the main thing I'm looking for when they come into the game. Emilia was done so perfectly. Such fun character still to this day. And I don't know, the Rem really fun. Definitely not the most viable character in the world, though Power Creep can definitely make a whole kit kind of difficult to use. And around 24 hours after this video comes out, we will have our next update. We are going to be getting double over the Demonic Beast drops, which is very exciting. I couldn't imagine they'll do something like that for the Skull and Hardy. They're probably not going to do something like that for that event for quite some time, or at least until we get the ability to actually farm the event and, you know, be able to get the 3rd stage completion. I still don't do a crazy amount of Skull and Hardy. I've finished the 1st stage to get the reward. Buy the weekly one you can get from the it's the Ragnarok event. You guys know the one I'm talking about, but so that's 3 a week. It's definitely not as much as I could get, and I could by all means finish even the 2nd stage, but man, I don't find that event fun. I'm going to be grinding up the card set over the next week, so hopefully I can get that one done. I'll give the 2nd stage another shot once I get that, because at this point in time, it is so insanely difficult and so RNG based that to myself it's just not a lot of fun. Let's see, Derry will kill you, and I think we'll kill you as well. I've definitely really been considering, especially with his Holy Relic come out, man, the Chandler looking like a whole bunch of fun on the Estarossa team. Really want to get that one built up. 800,000, man. Never doesn't impress me, this Estarossa. And then we can finish off his Estarossa as well. Yeah, really want to build up that Chandler one. I was super set on building the Festicutioner Zeldris Holy Relic, but I know, man, the Chandler one's pretty sick, and maybe by the time I've made my decision to actually build it, who knows, we could have another demon character. I could even wait out for Assault Melee or Hendy to get one, a character I'm super keen. Who knows, we could even have maybe a Holy Relic for DERIERI. I'd definitely love to see that. Yeah, but once Estarossa is dead, even though Assault Melee can absolutely cook with them alive, by himself, he's not the same. I wonder if we can... For some reason I still have doubts that our melee will kill. Why not? We'll see what our Assault Melee can do. Man, even with crits and the build-up of darkness, yeah, you definitely would have put HP defense on that, man. Wow. And actually ended up losing that last match. For some reason, his melee just started one-tap critting all of my units, but I'm still keeping him HP defense. The CC ends up being way too worth it on pretty much any team in existence. Who is more scary here? Does the Gotha have Holy Relic? Even so, I still don't feel like I'm gonna go for him first. Infect can be a bit of a pain to deal with. However, I feel like we're not going to use it a crazy amount in this team. Let's go for this here. Start chipping into value. The earlier we can get rid of him, the Pierce card is going to do a lot of damage to us regardless, and the build up of his damage reduction, all that kind of stuff, the single target buffs. I do really wish they made the Festicutioner Zeldris? The Festarossa, sorry, work a little bit better with the Trader Meliodas. Granted, it is a whole bunch of fun using Assault Melee, and this is the first time he's been viable in ages. I wouldn't even say he was the top tier team when he released. I believe he released and Escanor was still out, and even then, even though he has type advantage, all that kind of stuff, Escanor was just so insanely powerful. Escanor released, we had Lolly Merlin released, and people still said Escanor was more powerful. Lolly Merlin 100% is a better unit than Escanor, especially if you look at them today. Oh my god. Let's see, I feel like I can... feel like I can get rid of Rimuru at that point there. And then surely we can finish off the melee with that one card there. Melee not getting nilled off would be perfect for us. Yeah, look at that. This team cooks, the matches are so fast. I mean, it's everything you want in a PvP team. Look at that, big numbers off level 1 cards. That's, once again, Trader Melee, that Pace card, even just from the very get-go, you throw that out, crazy damage. I've been doing Guild Wars as well as of recent, and some of the Ludo King teams, if you don't run a Pierce build, or an anti-Pierce build, I should say, going into them, you'll easily just have your whole team wiped in 2-3 cards even because of the Ludo passive. It's such a fun way to play the game. Maybe that's just me, but I absolutely love it. But these collabs and collaborate runs are some of the best content we've had in the game, and even so, and some of them end up being better than our anniversaries, which is crazy to think, but it is the case, man. The King of Fighters rerun, the Slime rerun, and even some of the collabs original runnings were just so much fun. And for a lot of people and a lot of players, it is a good chance to get units that, first of all, you might not have, and second of all, you'll never be able to get again, which also ends up being a lot of CC. You're summoning on a banner, and especially for people who didn't play during the original running of the ReZero Club, that's 6 characters you can get. You know how much box CC that is? Unfortunately for me, I already have all of the, oh, I wouldn't say unfortunately, but I already have the 4 characters, so not gonna be a crazy amount of extra CC, especially since I already have Amelia 6 out of 6. I'm going to be absolutely crying if I end up getting dupes for them, but we'll have to see how things pan out, and surprised to see us actually going ahead and beating a Archangel team. Who knows, the Sariel could turn around and one-tap melee? Okay, no, never mind. I'm mad copium, disregard. We'll get rid of Sariel in one hit, and then we'll kill off the Elizabeth as well. Still would really like to see a Mile sometime in the near future. These teams are just missing one unit to make them both so definitively better than the other, but hey, ReZero, I definitely recommend saving past the Zeldris. You do want to be able to get as many of those characters as possible. Once again, we still don't know what the 2 new ones are going to look like, but look at what we've had in the past. Characters like Terry, characters like Kyo, characters like Amelia, still really good and still viable to this day. Some of them fallen off a little bit, but look at Terry, he's still part of probably one of the top 3, top 5 teams in the game. The Barn team stays on top, and especially if you built that team out, you haven't had to think about building new units in forever if that's your main team. Let's get rid of Margaret, yeah, we don't want to deal with her. Go for the melee single target instead, that'll get his ult, and then surely that finishes, right? Esther, you'll kill here? Oh yeah, 100%. Let's move on to the final opponent. And final opponent, another Goddess team. Please out CC. Oh no, we've just instantly lost this one. There's not much we can do. Even getting that extra AoE, I think we're pretty much sentenced to death because we're not going to be able to attack at all with the Cyril having that counter up. We'll max out the Liz passive and it'll just end up killing us anyways. But I mean, the Derry definitely doing good. We haven't had a crazy amount of matches or really any matches lost to the point where we need to use her ult removal, but the AoE card definitely been putting in work for the obvious reasons of applying the darkness debuff. I mean, he doesn't have any ult control. We could go for an Esther ultimate, I suppose. I'm not too sure which one will be weaker because this is level 2, but he doesn't have any darkness on him. Let's just go for the flood card, why not? We don't have crazy amount of buffs on him, so hopefully it doesn't do a lot of damage. Half our HP, really? Oh well, we have the Esteros ultimate now. Is there even a chance we win this? My Esteros is 3-6, ended up going 2 rotations. It's really, really bad luck. That's how my Grand Cross life goes. I play on other gacha games, I can one and done units all the time, I can single summon dupes, all that kind of stuff. Grand Cross, man, no way. No way would they let me get away with getting units super easily. Man, Esteros is dead, but yeah, no, the DERIERI kit also didn't come up against any Ult Rush teams, so didn't get to utilize that part of her passive a crazy amount, but I could definitely see her being really good in certain matchups. Would I say she replaces other characters like Chandler, stuff like that? Probably not. The Sigurd combination just ends up being so strong. Yeah, look, unfortunately still ending off this on in Masters, but that's alright. The Sigurd combination, definitely one of the strongest ones you get. Your opponent attacks into you once, you get the 3 buffs and all that kind of stuff. Chandler is a really, really good combination as well. Having the block effect combined with the counter can apply you more darkness effects. Demon Hendrickson obviously having the double AoE. There's some really, really good characters, but even Gloxinia having access to the cleanse effect can instantly put you an advantage to some of these super hard Esterosa counters. But there we go. That just about does it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please hit like and subscribe. Really means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys for some more Grand Cross content.